Hi, my name's Andrew Meier. In my 8 years of working with Compassion, I've been privileged to lead groups of people to many of the countries that we work in. This series is designed to help prepare you in the weeks leading up to your trip so you can really get the most out of your Compassion field experience.
The pre-trip training that we did was really important. You got a whole lot of people who have never actually visited even a Compassion project, but even a developing nation for that matter.
It was really wonderful to be able to work through together, some basic ground sort of level stuff, but all know that we were on the same page.
Hi, I'm Lil. I've been blessed to serve God with Compassion for the last 7 years, and I've had the opportunity to see Compassion's work in 13 developing countries across Africa, Asia and Central America, leading field experience teams and also meeting many of my own sponsor children and their families. Andrew and I will be guiding you through and asking your group to pause the video and carry out the activities in your workbook at regular intervals throughout the series. Let's pause here and take some time to share together about any past mission experience individuals in your team have had, whether short or long term.
Welcome back. Over the next 5 sessions, we'll be studying the aspects of a Compassion field experience in some detail. But we've learned that Aussies like to know the practical details up front. We're such a pragmatic people. Along with your workbook, we've also supplied you with a travel handbook relevant to the country that you're visiting. I encourage you to read and absorb the information in your own time, but there are some areas we'd like to highlight.
I found it helps if one of the gifts you give is a game that can be played with the child and family, like a soccer ball or a skipping rope. It can just help make things a little bit more relaxed and fun.
I had my son with me, my 18-year-old son, and so he sat down and just played this memory game with this little girl. It was just priceless because you didn't need language because it's pictures, turn the pictures over. So once she got the concept of the game and got into it, she was really opened up. And
it was kind of like a overwhelming experience for him, but still to be able to see his school and his friends and what actually goes on to providing him with care. And
Salamat pagi, nama Salah, nama saya Lee. That's it. Yeah, that's it. It came back.
Can you give us a translation?
Good morning. My name is Lee. Yeah.
A great experience and one I'll never forget. So.
Over the next 5 sessions, you're going to learn more about how we can maximise our learning by looking at various topics, including our motivations and expectations of this field experience, those we are going to meet and how we can best serve and learn from them, poverty, its causes and who is poor, common responses to being in a different culture and how we can best deal with these, and some cultural issues that we need to understand. We're always really excited to see groups take the step of experiencing Compassion's work on the field, because we know that it's such a unique and amazing work of God. I hope that you're excited as well and ready to be involved in each of the sessions leading up to the trip so that you can be inspired, equipped and built together as a team in preparation for your field experience. We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the second session of the Preparing to Go series. And we also gave you some practical pointers that will hopefully help to make your trip as smooth as possible. We'll pause here so you can work through the next activity and discuss the answers in your group.
Through these people, I learn so much about them that I can then learn about myself and change and let God kind of mould me into the man that He wants me to be.
Hi, and welcome to the 3rd session of the Preparing to Go series. In this session, we'll be looking at ways to adapt to the environment you're visiting by learning from the culture, the people, and the circumstances. It's important to remember that God has been working in and through the hearts of believers in this region long before you even thought of going. He has willing and able. Discuss practically what it will mean for your team to live by the statement, "It's not about us, it's about them."
I had someone come into my home, I want to make sure that I give them the best of what I could and look after them. And you know, it's quite possible you even feel like a rock star. There's kids everywhere and they're all wanting to see you and they want to be on the pictures on your phone. And
Hello and welcome to session 4 of the Preparing to Go series. You remember in the last session we looked at what we can learn from those around us on our trip. And this session is going to be much more of a teaching session, and we're going to look at issues that surround poverty. Another definition of poverty that's added a lot of insight to the topic was presented by Meier in a book entitled Walking with the Poor, and his explanation has been really helpful for me, especially in the area of Meier. And notice that the arrows on the diagram go both ways. People affect the systems and the systems affect people. Poverty then is the breakdown of these relationships. In your workbook is a story of Mary who lives in a slum in Western Kenya. And we'll pause here so that you can read through Mary's story, but as you do so, try to imagine the conditions, the smells, the sounds, the hundreds of thousands of people who are forced to live within a few square kilometres without hope. Read through the story as a group and then complete the questions.
In this session, we'll look at some of the challenges associated with visiting another culture. People will often have one of 3 initial reactions to a new cross-cultural experience. Firstly, romance, or a romantic response, where everything is so wonderful and the people. Secondly, a dazed and confused response. Some people will feel so out of their depth that they are completely disoriented. And then finally, a critical response. Due to fear, frustration and tension, some people can become critical of the different surroundings with questions. Pause the video, answer the questions and share your answers together.
there's something about seeing it with your own eyes, smelling it with your own nose, hearing the sounds, experiencing the life that these people that we are privileged to partner with experience on a daily basis.
Thanks for joining us in the final session of the Preparing to Go series. A few sessions ago, we looked at the fact that along with what you pack, you'll be taking with you your motivations and your expectations. Well, actually, you'll be taking more than that. You'll be taking cultural baggage as well. Those are the values, the concepts, the beliefs, and the behaviours that you've learned from childhood. Now, we can refer to these cultures as event time cultures. Events begin and end when all the participants feel the time is right, rather than when the clock says. Spontaneity is a core value amongst these people. Now, this can be frustrating if you're not aware of this different worldview. If you're unprepared, this cultural difference can still impinge on your experience. Take some time now to pause the video and talk about what this could mean in the culture that you're visiting. Discuss ways that you can prepare for this and how you might handle it. Regardless of the age or ability of the team members, your team must be willing to learn some language in order to build bridges. In your travel handbook, there's a page with basic language phrases that'll help start your language learning journey. Well, that's the end of the Preparing to Go series. Thanks so much for joining Lil and I over the past 6 sessions, which means that it's actually not long until you take off and you come face to face with the sights, the smells, and the adventures that await. I really love it when people get the bigger picture, which you can only really grasp by going to the field and engaging more fully in Compassion's ministry. I hope you'll take the opportunity to allow God to work in your life, and that you'll keep your eyes wide open to learn about poverty and to enjoy the sensations and worldview of a different culture. Have a great time.